So if you don't have a Windows phone, you've never seen Cortana in action except on a commercial probably. So we're going to go out there and configure it to respond to the Hey Cortana command. To do that, by the way, Cortana is search. It's the same thing, but you can't just right click and configure it. So we're going to go off to settings, thinking that that's the proper place to go. So we'll click on settings, and it brings up the flat, new UI version of the control panel. The old one's still available, by the way. If you click on system here, sure enough, third one down, Cortana and search. You think we click here and nothing happens. Well, that's so far. This is a Windows 10 technical preview build 10049. None of this other stuff has anything to do with Cortana. So we're going to go into Cortana directly and go ahead and make the adjustment. Now, of course, it's going to launch and ask us to go through some setup questions first. So we go into the Cortana, we click on the bar down at the bottom on the taskbar, which is the search, and Cortana pops up for the first time. And this is all about the allowing things to happen. So let's check out this. So allow. It says that I want to be able to set reminders. You'll want to allow me to do that. So I'm going to use my real name here. Instead of my nom de plume, we're going to say Bob and say OK. Now Cortana is going to come back and we're going to listen to her say it.
Bob.
Oh, it sounds good to me. So then we're going to go on to the next step. OK. So then it's going to say, there it is. Now what Cortana does, it brings up some of this information that it already knows about you. Well, how's that possible? Well, I'm logged in with the same email address as I am on my Windows 8 system and my tablet and even my phone. So all these things it's learned about me over the last year or so, I've told it to go ahead and share. So it already knows I'm a Cubs fan from years ago. But let's go into the configuration. So we're going to go up to the menu up here, and the first thing is Cortana. There's all these different settings. Let's go up to the Cortana home, which brings me right back to here. Brings up the latest news, the weather, stuff like that. So let's go to Notebook. Now, Daily Glance, that's the commuting information about what's going on in your date, the calendar. I have it turned on. I wanted my calendar appointments and fitness tracker to show up. And getting around, I wanted to say, hey, I'm a driver rather than a train guy. Traffic updates, I want to know about that when it's associated with my calendar events. Notify me when it's time to go to my calendar events. I want traffic updates on my favorite places. So you can do all that kind of thing while you're here. So the next thing we do is we're going to go, we're going to go down a little bit further, and we can say, oh, look, there's music stuff, there's headline news that we already configured, sports teams, those kind of things, trip planners, weather. You can experiment with all these and turn them on and off as you see fit. Now, if you go into reminders, it'll tell you, you can add one here and everything, so that's no big deal. Places. Now, it has your home only because you have entered it before, otherwise it's not there. Now, here's the settings for Cortana. Now, these are all the things about, it gives you a suggestion on what type. So you have to turn Cortana on. It's normally by default turned on. And again, how it calls you by name, you can redo that. And whether or not it uses your name when it's talking, it doesn't have to. That's down here. But here's a great one for all you conspiracy theorists. Detect tracking info such as flights and packages in my emails on my device. Holy cow, they're going to be looking over my shoulder. They're going to read everything. No. All they're going to do is be scanning for certain words in there to say you have a flight this time, whatever. I'm not a paranoid like a lot of people. You would think I would be, but I'm not. So I allow this. Now, you don't have to. You can actually ask it questions about flights and stuff and do all that rather than scanning your email. So you can leave it off. You don't have to worry. Well, now here's the setting that we were looking for. Let Cortana respond when you say, hey, Cortana. So it's going to first go into a tracking or training session. So let's go. Get in a quiet place.
Okay, let's get started. Say this phrase first.
Hey, Cortana, do I have anything on Saturday?
Got it. Here's the next one.
Hey, Cortana, what's the traffic like on the way to work?
Now here's another.
Hey, Cortana, tell me something about yourself.
You're all set. Now you can say hey Cortana to get my attention anytime.
So as long as you have a decent microphone, either a headset or a microphone attached to your system, like a desktop one, all you have to do, anytime you want to do a search, get some information about something, is simply say the phrase, hey Cortana. So let's try it. Hey Cortana, tell me a joke.
something went wrong. Try again in a little bit.
It's the first few times you launch Cortana, she may not have an answer for you yet. I believe it's out there building indexes and trying to figure out stuff and doing all, all sorts of internal things to get the answers that are tailored for you. Sometimes it connects to the internet, sometimes it doesn't. Basically, its Bing search engine is behind both. By the way, it's behind Siri as well. Apple is contracted with Microsoft. Bing is doing all the searches for Siri in the background as well. Hey Cortana, tell me a joke.
Did you hear about the motherboard who ran away to join the circuits?
So let's try another one. Hey Cortana, tell me a joke.
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Now, my timing was a little off. All the problem was there. Hey Cortana, tell me a joke.
Why was the calendar nervous? Its days were numbered.
Well, it is artificial intelligence. Okay, so let's go on. Hey Cortana, who's your daddy?
Technically speaking, that'd be Bill Gates. No big deal.
Now, a little clipping there at the end, but like she said, no big deal. Hey Cortana, what time is it? Now what you just saw is that some answers come up with Cortana's voice, but some simply bring up a browser. And currently it's configured to use Internet Explorer. Now Internet Explorer, even though this is Windows build, it has the Spartan browser, the Internet Explorer is still installed because it's got plugins that are for legacy applications to run and all that. It's just configured as a default browser. Now on Windows Phone, it actually tells you the time, but here it brings up not only the time, but relevant links below it about time, just in case you needed some more information. Hey Cortana, how tall is Tom Selleck?
6 feet 4 inches tall.
Hey Cortana, how far is it to Santa Barbara?
It'll take an hour to drive to Santa Barbara. It's about 57 miles away.
Hey Cortana, how's the traffic to Santa Barbara?
Here's the traffic in and around Santa Barbara.
Hey Cortana, what's the temperature in Santa Barbara?
It's currently 67 and sunny in Santa Barbara.
Hey Cortana, what's the temperature going to be like in Santa Barbara on Tuesday?
No, it doesn't look like it. The forecast for next Tuesday shows rain in Santa Barbara.
Now, I stumbled there in a bit, so she misunderstood me. It was totally my fault. So anyways, let's try some more. Hey, Cortana. Remind me to get up at 5 a.m.
Sure. What do you want to be reminded about?
To get up.
Sure thing. Remind you to get out. At 5 a.m. tomorrow. Is that right?
No.
Okay. Should I change the reminder, date, or time?
The time.
Sure. When should I remind you?
Monday at 5 a.m.
Sure. I'll remind you to get out. At 5 a.m. tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sound good?
Yes.
Okay. I'll remind you. You can see it in the notebook anytime.
Hey, Cortana. How tall is the Washington Monument?
555 feet.
Hey, Cortana. How many steps are there in the Washington Monument? Now, sometimes, like I said, it doesn't bring up the information in a answer. It brings it up in a browser. Sometimes it's just because it misunderstands you. But basically, it tries to do the best it can based on how you phrase the question. It's more about training you than her. Hey, Cortana. I want a hamburger.
Here are 10 places matching hamburger near you.
Now on Windows Phone, you can do what's called a follow-on command uh, that allows you to say something like, hey, give me directions to number 2. Here, I guess you can just click on directions. The other thing I don't like is the format. I can't see the name of these things easily. So I'm sure that'll improve within time. But the idea here is that you can ask for directions and then take an action on those directions right after that, which is a cool feature on the phone. It's been a little long since the search, but let's try it anyways. Hey Cortana, give me directions to number 2. And so it comes up with a browser, and it's about giving me direction. It has nothing to do with the previous search. I'm sure, again, there will be a way, or there already is a way, I just don't know it yet. But again, on the phone, it's a great feature. So let's move on. We're going to try a different category of searches. And by the way, you can just come up with anything your heart desires as a search and try it and see if it works. So let's go with a different category and say, hey, Cortana, how many cups in a gallon?
1 U.S. gallon is 16 U.S. cups.
Well, there you go. I didn't even know if it would convert. So again, think of whatever you want to do it and try again. Hey, Cortana. Hey, how many milliliters in a liter?
1 liter is 1,000 milliliters.
Oh, well, that was an easy one. Let's try a time one. Hey, Cortana. What time is it in Hong Kong? So now you'll see that Cortana brings up the time in Hong Kong and, of course, the date and everything. And, of course, relevant information about Hong Kong. Because obviously you're asking the time for some other reason. No, but you can be doing anything. You can be getting dressed for work or going out or something. And you have your Windows tablet maybe sitting there with Cortana monitoring stuff. And you just want to get some answers. You may just be able to be getting dressed and need to know what kind of tie you selected. You need to select. It used to be, well, I could still do it, but I'd call, or I ask my wife, hey, what kind of tie should I wear? Because she's a style person. But instead, I'll ask Cortana. Hey, Cortana, what's the current style for ties? And there you have it. There's the current G2 guide to men's ties. So, anyways, Cortana can answer just about any question. And we do this every day on the internet. We go out there and ask questions non-verbally by typing them in and do it all over. So, just a question of doing it vocally now or verbally. So again, there you have it, Cortana on the desktop. Once you get Windows 10 installed, play with it. Learn commands, learn how to talk to her. She'll learn how to talk to you, and go out for a cup of coffee or whatever. But anyways, the future of communication with your PC is here, and it's called Cortana. Hey, and don't forget to subscribe to Old Guy Geek. Come on back for Windows 8 and Windows 10, and Windows Phone 8 and Windows 10, and general how-to videos, all here to help you make the most out of your system.